Taoyuan Tzu Chi volunteers host the first Buddha Day ceremony attended by nearly 1,000 people. A mother has been helping hermit crabs find a new home in墾丁, Taiwan. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. To celebrate Buddha's birthday, Taoyuan Tzu Chi volunteers hosted the first Buddha Day ceremony this year.
Setting up tents, arranging tables and chairs, and decorating the Buddha ceremonial setup, the first Grand Buddha Day ceremony for Taoyuan Tzu Chi volunteers are hosted at Bado District.
Last year we had already hosted here, and we thought that the location is very convenient for people to come. We are expecting to have 700 participants, but after a round of invitations, I believe there will be more.
The busy preparations during the day turns into a beautiful Buddha Day ceremony at night. Everyone has a sincere heart to purify their minds through the Dharma fragrant water.
We used to think Buddhism teachings are very hard to understand and don't know how it can connect with our daily lives. Now that Tzu Chi has found a way to connect them together, I feel very grateful for the experience.
Through this opportunity, we can invite more people to understand what Tzu Chi is doing. We hope the participants can learn about the good moral ethics Tzu Chi is spreading and share it back to society.
May is full of thankfulness. Other than the Buddha Day ceremony, volunteers also performed the musical adaptation of the Kneeling Lamp to express the topic of filial piety.
The care I have for my parents for the children, the care for the grandparents is something they can see. So we hope through our performance we are able to teach the children about filial piety.
When children watch too much television and play with too many 3C products, it becomes a problem. So through the most traditional way to celebrate Mother's Day, I think it's the best way for them to understand filial piety and gratitude toward their parents.
Tzu Chi volunteers go into different communities each May to host Buddha Day ceremonies in order for people to get first-hand experience of feeling the joy of Buddha's birthday and the gratefulness that they are so blessed in life.
In European countries, there are not many Tzu Chi volunteers. However, to promote Buddhism and introduce Tzu Chi to more people, Tzu Chi volunteers will organize annual Buddha Day ceremonies in many different countries. In Jordan, Tzu Chi volunteers transcended religions to celebrate Buddha's Day along with Mother's Day.
Celebration of Mother's Day in different countries may differ from one another, but Tzu Chi's tea ceremony held to promote filial piety is widely accepted.
When the participants served tea and gave a massage to their parents, they're willing to kneel down. Since they have their own children, they even ask to do the act themselves.
I haven't experienced such happiness and warmth since 2012. Although I miss my husband who passed away in Syria and the eldest son who died in the war, as well as the son who lost one of his legs, I felt love and warmth at the ceremony. I have rekindled the feeling for being a mother.
The love that people have received from their parents is selfless, and the mercy of the Buddha is immeasurable. In addition to local volunteers in Jordan, refugees from Syria and Iraq also participate in the yearly Buddha Day ceremony.
People who came to attend the event are of different religions, so I was deeply moved. They also joined us to fold their palms together, showing their respect.
When people of different religions pray for world peace, their hearts can still be closely connected.
When Christians pray, it's just focusing on inner peace and trying to connect with God. And I think it's very similar to your prayer ceremony today. Again, you're drawing in inner peace and focusing on the flowers and the respect to Buddha.
In Germany, the Buddha Day ceremonies in Munich and Hamburg are attended by people from around the world every year.
Today we had a very successful meeting with different cultures from various countries: Afghanistan, Somalia, Syria, Iraq, many countries, China, Vietnam. And it happened very, very smoothly, very nice.
In Europe, where Catholicism is predominant, the Buddhist rituals in Asia have been introduced. For many years, Tzu Chi volunteers have been serving as instant translators during the Buddha Day ceremony and telling stories to invite more people to attend the event.
I have to translate some words and sentences associated with Buddhism. I'm also very worried that they may feel uncomfortable and embarrassed if they are not Buddhist. I usually speak with a soft voice, which allows them to feel more comfortable. It's like telling stories.
People with great love and fraternity have the same wish for the society, as they all hope people can be friendly and the world can be harmonious.
For Tzu Chi's 52nd anniversary, Tzu Chi volunteers in Penang, Malaysia conducted a pilgrimage event for over 1,000 volunteers. Everyone came together to sincerely pray for humanity.
The night is darkest before dawn, but with very synchronized Buddhist chanting, it's as if a candle has been lit to guide the people. Celebrating Tzu Chi's 52nd anniversary, Tzu Chi volunteers from Penang, Malaysia hosted a pilgrimage for over 1,000 volunteers.
I think it's very meaningful, like a type of blessing. I'm just a bit tired since, we have to get up at around 3 a.m. I just keep telling myself that participating in this pilgrimage event can bless my parents to be in good health. So that is my main motivation.
Ms. Dat Gan Yen went on the pilgrimage alongside her mother despite still recovering from chemotherapy treatments. Her will to live is strong, and both mother and daughter's hearts are united as one.
I'm still quite ill, and I just got done with my chemotherapy rounds. If I can take 3 steps in a bow, then I'll do it. If my body's not for it, then I'll just stand. I'm just happy to be here with my mother.
This couple's son used to be a recipient through the Tzu Chi Charity Fund to help him through his medical journey. On this special occasion, his parents came to participate in the pilgrimage.
When I was participating in the pilgrimage, I felt a sense of happiness. There's no divide between religions. As long as we have a pure spirit, whatever religion you might be, our hearts will be one.
There are many people in this world that are suffering. We're praying deeply for them. I cannot bear the thought of seeing them suffer just as how my son suffered. I really pray that everyone can be in good health.
Just before the pilgrimage ended, the rain fell from the skies, cleansing our hearts and purifying our minds.
In Taiwan, more than 170 young volunteers from Jingsi Books and Cafe traveled to Hualien for a pilgrimage. Let's join them there. The young volunteers from Jingsi Books and Cafe are heading to Jingsi Abode to attend a pilgrimage. During the ride, they practice sign language and raise funds for Tzu Chi's international disaster relief.
We are donating the money we raised to International Disaster Relief Fund so that disaster victims can have enough supplies and a place to live.
More than 170 young volunteers from different areas of Taiwan attend the pilgrimage together. They also have the same vows.
I want to return to visit the Master and repent for my past mistakes.
The heat in Hualien is a challenge the children must overcome. Their mindfulness has amazed the adults.
I can relate to people who are suffering.
To be honest, it is very hot, but we are willing to endure it. If you can endure the heat when it's very hot, you can practice calmness and learn something from the experience.
The children have demonstrated their determination to walk the correct life path, and in the process, they've also inspired the adults. Mother's Day is coming up. Hualien DaAi kindergarteners brought joy and laughter to the geriatric psychiatric daycare center in Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital. Let's see how they made cards and picture frames together.
Hualien DaAi kindergarten children are bringing love and happiness to the daycare center in Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital. They began with energetic movements to invite their grandmas to exercise with them.
I feel very happy. These children are the same age with my grandson, who's also 6 years old. They're very adorable.
Kindergarteners find inspirations from the nature as they use wood sticks and flowers to make pictures, frames, and cards. Putting on a beautiful picture to cherish the memory together, they ask the elders with dementia to play with creativity alone, while the children draw their wholehearted love on the card.
The picture on the card I made is me taking the granny to take the boat. Happy Mother's Day, Granny. I'll take you to make donuts next time.
The happiness expressed in their sweet singing voice is the most wonderful blessing for these grandmas. And they also want to tell all the mothers in the world that
60-year-old Huang Shufeng, who works in墾丁, began caring for local hermit crabs 9 years ago. This was when her daughter asked why the shells of hermit crabs have gone missing. She started a campaign inviting people to send shells to墾丁, where she cleans them and has helped 30,000 hermit crabs find new homes. Most mothers are housewives or stay in the house, but my mother cares for hermit crabs.
The simple question about stolen shells posed by her daughter really influenced her. Now these hermit crabs with plastic bottle caps change Huang Shuhuang, who is the mother of two, was originally a 9-to-5 employee's life.
These plastic caps only sit on top of them, as there is no way for the hermit crab to crawl inside for protection, as they can be injured. I pledge to protect them and help them get a new home, as these plastic caps can be damaged and allow birds to eat them.
Huang Shuhuang's observations of these beautiful beaches have revealed the difficulty that many hermit crabs encounter when seeking a new home. Some carry plastic caps, plastic pipes, and even the shell of fruit, as none of this is natural. It's the daughter who asked why this hermit crab was carrying a plastic cap for a shell from 9 years ago. She's a nurse and always uses her vacation time to do a more in-depth investigation. From all over, these shells are sent to Huang Shuhuang in Kenting. She tells everyone not to clean the shells and don't use any chemicals, as the task of cleaning them is ultimately up to her.
On the internet, there are many videos made by my mother. When I see one, I'll share it and say that it is my mother. On Facebook, some people will comment that my mother is great and that she works so hard.
The work that her mother does to help hermit crabs makes her daughter proud, but there are also some difficulties.
It is tough to see her sitting under the hot sun to examine the condition of these hermit crabs. Sometimes she sweats a lot and I'm afraid that she may get a heat stroke, as I tell her to please take care of herself.
Sometimes I will keep sweating as I may not be hydrated enough. I do drink water, but sometimes not enough.
For the sake of her work, she sometimes is so busy that she forgets to eat. She frequently stays in a dormitory for her work, as she tells her daughter not to worry.
If they take care of themselves well, this is filial, then I won't worry about them.
She understands her daughter's concerns and will look after herself just like she cared for her daughter. As for the hermit crabs who can't speak, aside from helping them find a new home, she has another plan for them.
I have gone to many different places, such as schools and businesses, to talk about this issue. I hope to collect more shells to give these hermit crabs a safe place to live. I want to use these activities to tell people not to collect shells on the seashore and not to dump their garbage, so we can give them a clean environment to live.
Huang Shuhuang, aside from the Kenting Youth Activity Center, has gone to Pingdong in schools in Kaohsiung, Tainan, and Taipei. She promotes hermit crab conservation along with her caring for her daughter as much as she can.
100分.
Taiwan Tzu Chi Hospital nurse吴玉蓉has been involved in this profession for 18 years. Her warm and motherly personality is very endearing to many patients. They all consider her to be like a daughter.
Nurse Wu Yuzhong is cheerful and warm and very good at taking care of others. She has a nickname, Mother Rong.
We all call their mother Rong not because she's old, but because she's very sweet.
Her abundant experience at the clinic makes her a great help to the doctor.
Whenever I hear a keyword, I can immediately know what I can do, and I can provide help right away.
You can often see her cheerfully greeting old patients outside the clinic.
You can't carry anything heavy. Yes, you can't.
Sometimes they work late at this clinic with the daughters, so we really feel for her because she's like our own daughter.
The patient is not just here to treat their illness, but seeking comfort in their heart. She does a very good job of this.
She said her personality is very considerate, hence she wanted to be a nurse since a young age. When she was pregnant, she was still working and studying in the same time, but she has not given up her dream. The past 18 years have not been easy, but the patient's smile is worth the world to her.
If I can help you a bit today, I'll feel very happy. The smile they gave me makes me feel that, well, my day is truly worth it. I hope tomorrow I can see the same smile from others as well. In Myanmar, a farmer has started to save 50 kyats a day to help the less fortunate people after learning about Tzu Chi's bamboo bank era. Since it is sometimes humid in Myanmar, he irons the kyat bills before depositing them into the coin bank.
The Tzu Chi office called saying there is a guest coming here. Their car has departed. I am waiting at the village entrance. How are you?
Without guidance, who would turn onto the wild roads near the fields? Looking at the field scenery, one forgets about the yellow dust.
Tzu Chi began with 30 housewives saving up to help people.
The common topic between the two farmers is not about farming, but Taiwan, which is more than 2,000 kilometers away from them. It is extremely hot traveling on the field roads. Yumai Ai's home is located in the middle of the field.
He participates in many of the village events. We also depend on him at home. We need him at home.
It takes about 2 hours to travel from Yangon to Yumai Ai's house. Although Myanmar has turned democratic, what remains the same is the gap between the city and the countryside. Despite having to live without water and electricity, the residents' compassion is still abundant.
The red envelope has been a lesson to me. I cherish it as the Master has delivered this to us in such a solemn ceremony. When I heard about this at the rice seedling distribution in 2010, I thought it was very meaningful. The more than 30 housewives had overcome difficulties to save up their charity fund. It has inspired my compassion. In Taiwan, they save 5 cents in bamboo coin banks. Now we're given plastic bottles, and it is very convenient. Of course, we should save up to help others.
Yumai Ai carefully takes out a blue box in which the 50 Kia money bills fit.
After I iron the money bill, it will become flattened. I started saving up since January 1st. When I get 50 jat bills, I first place them in the box and then I deposit one into the rice coin bank every day.
In Myanmar's rainy seasons, it is very humid. Therefore, the kyat bills could get moldy if placed in the plastic coin bank. In addition, 50 kyats bill is hard to come by, so UMI collects them before placing one into the coin bank every day.
Before I hand the donation to other people, I need to cherish the jat bills, as it is my responsibility. We are able to do this mindfully and feel joyful thanks to Master Zheng Yun's compassion.
I think 50 kyats is too little, so this year I will strive to save 100 kyats. However, I do not have the ability yet, so this year I will continue to save 50 kyats. Next year, I hope to save 100 kyats a day.
Despite the hardship in life, the farmers do not take the money out of the coin bank because this represents their compassion. For these farmers, being able to sustain themselves and contribute to the society is all they ask for. If you often experience cramps in both legs, it might be leg stroke. According to doctors, if there's blood vessel obstruction in lower limbs, this is called leg stroke. Symptoms include numbness in the leg and feet, overall weakness and cramps. It is very important for people that sit or stand for longer periods of time to move around at least 10 to 15 minutes every hour.
Leg cramping is one of the most common things people have experienced.
Both legs cramp up, not just one. It used to be just on the back of my shins, but now it's the whole leg. Even my whole face will curl up.
If you have a constant episode of leg cramping, it might be a type of leg stroke that you are experiencing. According to doctors, when the lower limb circulation is not optimal, leg strokes can happen due to any blood clot or calcification blockage. This can be detected through infrared testing devices.
At first, you will experience feet numbness, coldness, and/or paleness of the skin. If it worsens, there could be a tingling sensation to the touch. Even your pulse seems to be disappearing. In the very worst-case scenario, there would be permanent nerve damage and muscle weakness.
High-risk populations include people who have high blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar. Also smokers, overweight individuals, and over 65-year-old seniors.
The weather is very hot right now, so people really need to stay hydrated. Every hour there needs to be water intake and also the movement of the body. Best if it's 10 to 15 minutes at a time to help body circulation.
Having adequate exercise, a balanced diet, and maintaining good circulation is the best way to prevent any illness from occurring.
Famous artist吴炫三is currently displaying his 300 artworks at National Taiwan Museum of Fine Arts. Among the artworks is a tall Bodhisattva sculpture with the words "Great Love." We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.